Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Twin Flame Union read for you today. It incorporates both the masculine and the feminine into one union read. It's not for the feminine or for the masculine, it's for the union. Okay, so I'm going to do that as well as oracle cards. I just wanted to touch base in the beginning about the Queen of Wands because she seems to be the center of attention today in the read, as well as the day, 24. It is January 24, 2019. 24 is a 6 of love, family, and community. It's a very motherly energy. I know it very well because it's my mother's soul number, and she was very much like a Queen of Wands. And then the day today adds up to the, where are we? We have the King, yeah, 37-1 is the King of Cups. All right, so we have the King of Cups and the Queen of Wands, and they actually both came up in the read today, so pretty perfect. The Queen of Cups, as you know, represents unconditional love, as well as that very loving, nurturing, caring man who takes care of the family man. So I just wanted to touch base on the Queen of Wands, since she's come up in kind of elusive ways sometimes, and I wanted to get a clear definition, lots of different descriptions, so you understand her positive and negative attributes before we go into the read today. So, you know, typically we talk about the Queen of Wands as having good energy and being upbeat and fiery. She loves center stage. She tends to be good looking, loves attention, is very physical because it's Wands, so she gets things done. Work and career focused, you know, tends to be the most popular because she's pretty and she's very confident. She's not afraid of anything. She's courageous, passionate, and independent. And ambition is a big word for the Queen of Wands as well as confidence. And generally, if they're in their positive energy, are seeking positive self-development. Fertility was a word that came up for the Queen of Wands as well. But you know, anything that comes up for any of the fire energies, right? Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries can be attributed to this Queen of Wands, okay? But the problem with the Queen of Wands is, in her detriment, it's not someone you want to deal with, okay? In her reversed energy, they're going to be opposite of all that, right? Because they love attention. If they don't get what they want, right? It's like a Leo having a temper tantrum. They can be deceitful, impatient, and weak, narrow-minded, vindictive, possessive, manipulating and controlling, dominating, and unyielding. Like, so if they don't get their way, they're going to throw a temper tantrum. And like I said, I grew up with this energy. I understand it very well. And my mother had both the positive and the negative attributes of the Queen of Wands, and it's not something I'd want to live with again, all right, ever in my life. I love her very much, but can't deal with that energy. So just so you know what we're talking about when we talk about the Queen of Wands here, okay? They want their own way, okay? They want the attention, and that's just the way it is. And they're very physical. So a lot of fire signs tend to work out a lot too. So they're ready to start a physical fight if they need to. Okay. So, and remember, in the definition in the general tarot for the Wands energy is the initial energy of a human. This is not the soul energy. It's the first human energy that's expressed in your life, because we go from Wands to Cups, then to Swords, and then finally to Pentacles, which is your mastery over manifestation in this world or on this planet. So the Wands is physical. It's like, you know, you when you're a kid, it's all about playing and doing physical things, sports and going to school, but very physical, not needing to figure out your emotions or your intellect yet, you know. So just to understand where it comes from in the tarot. I'm sure others may have a different perspective, but this is mine. So this is my read, and this is the energy that will go into that information, okay? So I'm going to get right into the read. And just so you know, from the numerology deck, a lot of cards came out, which will come out in the read, but it was like all orange and blue. The underlying energy was a teal card, so like high heart energy, but then focused on the sacral and the throat chakras, okay? So using your heart to combine your creative abilities and your speaking abilities to express. So it's just 444, okay? So that's an important message. 444 is angelic. 44 tends to be mastering of your masters, and you mastering on this earth and this energy, and mastering your 5D skills. And there are, if you look up angel numbers, you'll see some of the angelic numbers is very long extending a series of 4s, okay, so it's very angelic. And as you know, the 4 itself is the Emperor, 44 is the 4 of Cups, or Atlas, carrying the weight of the world upon your shoulders, grounding and integrating. And then, of course, we're talking about 444 is, goes into the angelic realms, and the angels reminding you to ask them for help, because you have to ask. They can't do it without your permission, because you do have that right to ask. Okay, so getting into the read today, focusing on the Queen of Wands and the King of Cups, and it was very rainy and gloomy when I woke up this morning. And I woke up because I heard a voice, a man's voice, and it seemed like a man's voice at the door, only it sounded inside, like it was clear, saying hello. Well, there's no one around. I don't know who it was trying to say hello to me. Oh, what's that song? Hello, it's me. If you know what I'm talking about, write it below, please. And by the way, thank you all, as always, for your likes, shares, subscribes, and comments. And please do subscribe and share if you like my message. It is important, and please comment below to help not only share with me, but share with the others in the comments, and to others who may be reading the comments, for others who may need assistance or just companionship. Okay, it's very important to extend yourself to others, only if it feels right to you. So you need to resonate with other people. It's important. Oh, and then Major Tom came in again. Ground control to Major Tom. So that song, what I was hearing specifically, the line in Spirit's connecting with me after I heard the man say hello, was "May God's love be with you." Okay, and it was very profound when I woke up to that this morning, and I couldn't wake up because I was very sleepy. And when I asked for some messages, I wasn't really getting much this morning when I woke up, but I was getting to open my curtains more fully. Okay, so you can see your field of view is bigger. And the green eye that I normally see, it's like a wormhole, just like a camera shutter. You know, a wormhole has those, you know, you see the black in the camera shutter, each has those little pieces all the way around that helps open it and close it, right? Well, the wormhole is exactly the same. It has those same tributaries, only it's like the iris of an eye, and I see green, and then I see the black hole in the middle. So today, where the black hole doesn't spontaneously close up with color, today it did. The green came right in, but it was a dull green. It wasn't really bright, and it's kind of a dull day outside today. But those were the two things that I saw when I woke up this morning. Getting into the read for the union, and because I write union and then the colon with big circles, it's 8. U8 was coming in, okay? U8. It's like the Holy Grail, the cup, and the 8 of the infinity, okay? The 0 point and the ever-flowing energy of life. So the major arcana for this read, and this is a Sirian Starseed deck, is the main deck. I also use the Universal Golden, the Gilded Tarot, the mini deck from Rider-Waite, the numerology deck, the Romance Angels, and I think that's it. But for the Sirian Starseed deck is the Great Wheel, the Shadow, the Chariot, the Tower, and Higher Self, which are normally the Wheel of Fortune, the Devil, the Chariot, the Tower, and the High Priestess. The card after the read was also a major arcana, Abundance, which is usually the Empress. There were 2 wands, 2 swords, 1 pentacle, 1 cup. And the court cards that came up were the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the King of Swords. Like I said, the King of Cups did come up significantly in the clarifiers, but wasn't one of the main players. We have the King and Queen of Swords and the Queen of Wands here in the recent past position, okay? So the read was really about the King and Queen of Swords, which was nice energy. So the numbers that came up, and it was coding was all about forgiveness today. 3, 14, 17, 8, 22, 11, and 34, but really more 3-4 was coming up in the coding, and it actually came up again in the headings that way. So that was important to note. And And then as I go into the read more, 13 comes up, which is that death or transformation energy. And 13 kind of comes up as well as in the coding. 13, 14, and 34, 8, 17, 22, 11, yeah. All right, so the coding that was all about forgiveness, 3E comes up, so if that means something to anyone, let me know. That wasn't the specific message I was getting, but it is present there. And also the Temperance card was coming up here. I was getting just theism was one of the definitions that was coming up here. You know, to the belief in the existence of a god or gods. One of the lines that came in that header had to do with certain theologists who argue that Jesus should be seen more as a human role model rather than an actual deity. The messages that were coming up, though, were about 3, and it was showing me 3 E's. So for me, that references, and it was just 1111, references the Divine Feminine, because the E is for Eve, and that's what comes up in the E tower for the Divine Feminine's heart. So it's not, I'm not referring to my name, although Spirit can refer to my name so that I will understand the message to give to you. So 3 with 3 E's, angels, okay, so the Divine Feminine angels, or queens, or wise ones. And I was literally getting the God, the shadow, the saint. And it doesn't matter, and Spirit's connecting with me. And then I get again the line from Sex and the City when Carrie says to Miranda, it's forgiveness. And Spirit's really connecting with me right now, okay? It doesn't matter if it's the devil side or the shadow side, the God or the saint. It's forgiveness. It's still forgiveness. It doesn't matter. Okay? Now, not necessarily siding with Carrie because she was a hypocrite. She always said that, like, she never lied to her before, and she had, and so it's kind of funny what comes up for me when I think of that. So the coding that comes up when I put it in, the whole code in online, the first heading was Kazekage, K-A-Z-E, K-A-G-E, and that was from Narutopedia, which I think just comes up as Naruto.com. And that word literally means wind shadow, or for the village, and it was representative in this game or whatever it was as the village leader. That the village leader keeps the village balanced and deals with the other villages, right? So they need to be in that position, and they may not be the most cuddly person in the world because that's their role, to keep things balanced. The wind shadow. So they may have a dark side because it's needed. Okay, 11 just came up again, and then it was 13, 13. So 11, 11, okay, justice, justice, and 13 is transformation, transformation, or death, death. So it's definitely coming up in the read as well, both death and justice. All right, so the second header was test your memory for dementia in 15 minutes. And that's the heading if you want to look it up, but it's called SAGE. It's an Alzheimer's test. It's called Self-Administrated Geocognitive Exam. And it basically said that 4 out of 5 people, or 80%, will actually be detected correctly by this test, or that 95% of normal people will come out with a normal score. Another heading that came up was sage plants. I never even thought of getting a sage plant, but that sounds like a really cool idea if you're using sage on a regular basis. And that was from Better Homes and Gardens. And they said to replace it every 3 to 4 years. The header, Fire Emblem Hack, Chapters 9X, Part 3. Ephidel, the Shadow Sage came up, and that was from YouTube. And another heading just came up with Gameranx. That was also from YouTube, so it's game and then R-A-N-X. Another header that came up was Queen, Mother, Wise Woman, and Lover, the rediscovery, and then it was just the ... That was from Stottilien, STOTTILIEN.com. Females in myths represent the anima appear often in multiples of 3 or 9, like the Nordic Valkyries. I'm not sure, you know, it's I don't know if it's a story or if it's history. Where is it coming from? Yeah, it might be. But Valkyries, Valkyries was coming up. So it's getting very much like the Vikings from Nordic. But Nordic Valkyries, quadruple qualities, however, take on later, come into play later as important, okay, in fours. Okay, so 3 and 9 multiples. And it's interesting because 3 9 is a significant number to me anyway, but then it's also the Knight of Cups. And I got up at 9:03, which is the 9 and the 3, and then I noted as something else I did today at 9:33, and then 9:44 and 9:49. But anyway, the 3 and 9s were definitely coming up this morning. So 3 and 9 significant, so those multiples, and then 4 comes into play later. So this is very significant for the union, because 3 is that 3 of Cups energy of coming together with the third energy. 9 is the universal compassion energy and endings, you know, ending relationships that no longer serve in order to come into that 4 of the 4 of Wands union. So that very much came into play there. The next heading was at 1024, which is that 24 again, and that was Google Plus just was coming up the header for them. And as Google Plus came up, and that 24, my hearing went out like it would on the plane. My left went out more than my right at 1024. The next heading was Seth MacFarlane from Wiki and about Family Guy, but it was more about him. 4 Primetime Emmys and Annie in 2009. He won the Webby Award for Film and Video Person of the Year. So here it was referencing 4 again. So it's saying later in life, you come together as that union after you've mastered the 3 and the 9 energies coming together. So it's showing you all the awards, the accomplishments that he has as we are coming up to 1717 here. So it's star energy. Iodine came up. Use side effects, interactions, dosage, warning, and that was from WebMD. So some of you may need to look up iodine, or you may need a iodine supplement, or be careful of overdosing on iodine. You don't want to do that either. Derbyville, GameDerbyville.com came up for horse racing nation and online racing. 3-year-olds dash in Indiana, and then 1 was in parentheses by spin round. And then St. Jason Turf Mile, 100K, 12 minutes, 37 seconds. And then MN Rope Blush Turf Philly Mile will also came up 100K, 12 minutes, 37 seconds. And then IL, so it's Minnesota and Illinois, local championship stakes. And then at right after that, 1028, I was finished the headers and I had to go to the bathroom. So 1028 was also noted, which is the twin flames. That's the 2 of Wands, but it's also my address. So it's very significant for me. So getting into the read, the underlying energies. The only signs that were in the underlying energies today, and I'll also tell you the signs that were in the body of the read. The underlying energies were Pisces upright, Scorpio reversed, Aquarius was both upright and reversed, Leo both upright and reversed, and Libra upright and reversed. So that indicates to me some chaotic situation there. It was just 44. So master, master, master. It also could be that the Pisces upright is the King of Cups in the underlying energy, that the King and Queen of Swords, the King of Swords was upright, I believe. It could be reversed energy as well, but the Queen of Swords was definitely reversed. So this could definitely be Aquarius energy up and down. And there could be another Queen of Swords upright, that's Libra. But Libra was also up and down. But that was the indication. And then the Leo up and down definitely is the Queen of Wands, okay? And Leo's been coming up like crazy anyway. But again, because of ego, and it's the ego death for the masculine right now, and Leo also will come up because it just ended, you know, its placement in the North Node. But I believe that the North Node's home is also in Leo, so that was important too. Especially the environment is the 4 of Cups today in the Syrian Starseed deck. It's like wishing on a star, so looking up to the stars. The North Node, the North Star, okay? Expressing feelings. So we have the 8 of Wands as the underlying energy here. Expressing passionate feelings. Inspired to lose sovereignty, to work with the King of Swords or lose money and power and independence. There's a couple different situations coming up here, so listen carefully. This is not the only scenario. Multiples come up. So expressing their feelings and inspired to lose their sovereignty to work with the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands feels above this. So I was definitely getting kids. Could be the masculine offering to work with the King of Swords, but it also could be kids offering to work with their father or grandfather or the mother's father. That's what I was getting. Okay, so the Queen of Wands feels like she's above this, and it was. That's not my words. In the cards, she's literally above it ×2. Okay. She's bored grounding, or she's looking at someone like pitying them, basically, who's grounding, and she's like all like proud, like I am the queen, like everyone's below me. The Queen of Wands, with self-love or without self-love, because she's coming up as upright and reversed for sure without self-love. So someone's been dumped. The Queen of Wands with or without self-love transforms with pink rose, ready to take off and shine her own light. While the King of Swords, so that could be a positive or a negative, that's 2112, as far as being selfish, all right, or selfless, and depending on which one's the right one for her at that moment, okay? So while the King of Swords, she's ready to take off, this is her perspective, and shine her own light, while the King of Swords pouts on his domino throne. An Aquarius walks right over an old royal, while kids watch in disbelief. An Aquarian male may be stone cold, or this Aquarian male is the one who passed, sending out ripple effects and leaking into emotional tributaries. There may be information that was leaked by a feminine who's naked and pouring out her emotions everywhere, which definitely sounds like the Queen of Wands, okay? And she came up 3 times, all here in the underlying energy. Towering domino effect, 8 to 8, balancing your masculine and feminine sides, with Merkaba running up and down between, like the slingshot ride. And when I wrote, and it was just 2211 again, for the slingshot ride, I wrote side instead of ride, so I'm wondering if, about the side, but also slide was coming up. So towering domino effect, 8 to 8, and 8 is very much of the masculine and feminine, each balancing in their own energy, okay? Balancing the masculine and feminine sides with the Merkaba running up and down between, like the slingshot ride, side, or slide. Scaly armor and buckles and artificial wings, this Aquarius, Scorpio, King of Swords, or Queen of Wands, is or was not a nice man or woman. Dirty deals with priests and such, not taking children into consideration. The wounded warrior gave up the battle to let go of past wounds. The Queen of Swords reversed may be a lawyer or a triple threat air sign team who took down the Queen of Wands in court, finding peace in her own world now in the recent past. Death of a rose comes up here, or news to the Queen of Wands that a friend who had been fighting has passed, or that children are expressing that they want to work with their father or her father, this could be an uncle or a grandfather as well, but someone in the family, after losing a loved one. See, the children's perspective has changed because they've lost a loved one, now ready to lose their sovereignty and buckle down to work. I don't know if they should be working for this man, though, because if it's the divine masculine, it's not bad, but if it's this Aquarian energy, it can be a very negative energy. The Queen of Wands in her own world, so, and definitely could be her father as well, the Queen of Wands' father. The Queen of Wands is in her own world. The Queen of Wands may have offered love to someone who's been grounding and ignoring her after she left him or her out in the cold suffering. Loving herself first in a kind of an arrogant way, out in the public to look good as the Queen of Wands, taking pity on those she feels are beneath her. The King of Swords has dreams of his own after being dethroned or seeing his royal father or grandfather, or her father or grandfather figure, dethroned while kids stood by watching. So also someone might have gone down, or someone may have had a heart attack or whatever it was, and the kids didn't do anything. They were just like, they were either surprised by what happened, or someone got hurt and the kids didn't react and do anything. They just kind of stood there and watched. Someone has flown from the nest to become a star. So someone definitely was just taken off and leaving. Half in and half out. Down on one knee, emotional echoes of the past, grounding into the present. Okay, so whatever the masculine or feminine has, the masculine, feminine, or the karmic has gone through, as far as people half in, half out, and constantly going back and forth in a relationship, as he surrenders all the notches on his belt, all right, and this was definitely referring to the masculine. It could be a karmic for the feminine as well. At 11:07, he wonders if it was love she ever felt. Okay, so this could definitely be as 2525, which is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is about passionately, rushing in. It could be creative or sexual. It also could just be running around doing errands. But the masculine's wondering if the karmic, ever really loved him truly, because she's not showing any emotions now. And it could be the karmic also wondering that about the divine feminine. The Queen of Swords reversed with the Five of Swords guy and the Page of Swords. Five of Swords is brain wars. It's someone who wants war. So the Queen of Swords reversed, the Five of Swords, and the Page of Swords can be a mother and two kids as well. Her verbally abusive and kids ready to kill and tell. So tattletales and then ready to fight her battles for her. News, and also Mommy's Minions came up a long time ago about the kids of the karmic, which is referring to the Queen of Wands, so that makes sense. So news of defeat, her tongue her weapon, red boots on uneven ground with many layers of light green and yellow, happy taking down others to free herself, cutting them out of her life using a sharp tongue. Could have been blue skies with a few clouds, but she chose stormy battlefields to get her own way. Okay, so this is definitely about pride and ego and the Leo. Heart-to-heart conversations came up as the underlying energy, and then love yourself first for the union. That the divine masculine and divine feminine need to have their heart-to-heart conversations, and it's definitely coming up with karmics, to make sure you love yourself first and let go of people in your life who are no longer serving you for your highest good. So busy out. Now we're at 11:16, so some tower energy might come up here. I'm not sure here. Busy out helping others and throwing away the rule book, integrity and purity as the guide, cutting all connections no longer good for him or just feeding his pride. This was coming up for the masculine, but it could also be the masculine within the feminine, so take it both ways. Twins looking at their reflections with deep contemplation but no affection. The feminine, a prisoner of the divine masculine's hang-ups, and the divine masculine, Boar, a prisoner of the karmic strong-arming him or tackling him, holding her hand over his mouth, nose, and ivories or tusks. She has big palms and a rough childhood. Likes to get down and dirty. Okay, so this is the Queen of Wands energy coming up here. Something about, and this doesn't have to be a fire sign, but someone probably has fire in their chart, but it doesn't have to be a fire sun sign, okay? Something about a left big and second toe. One foot is uglier than the other, or one was broken, tripped or fell from a tree branch, when they weren't paying attention or not looking. And I want to remind you too, sometimes it's hard to delineate like who's who in the read, because you have to realize the divine feminine and the karmic will have a lot of similarities in their personality. And they may have some of the same signs, like if one's earth, the other one may be earth. They don't have to be the same earth sign, but it may be confusing sometimes because they are going to have similarities, okay? Just like the divine feminine knows that all of her past relationships were parts of her divine masculine. So there's going to be certain parts of the karmic that are you. And then she is part of, your group as a soul. I mean, this is your contract. You have a contract with your masculine as well as the karmic. She is she's coming up as a sneaky Leo energy with pin cushions, candles, and bells, and cute ankles, green sheets or bed and brown carpet, and likes to wrestle the boys she finds so boring. Okay, so if they're being all intellectual and being a Leo energy, she's going to want to get physical, so she probably instigates on purpose because she's bored. So following your dreams comes up as the underlying energy, and beneath that was manifestation. So for the union, you're manifesting already. Now follow your dreams, your high heart. 16 candles came up between her legs, 16 X's between his. Okay, it doesn't have to be a specific number, but this is coming up as tower energy as well. Could be 16, but it doesn't have to be. The Queen of Wands reversed is now dumped. or definitely not loving herself, pissed and imbalanced and paying debts. While the King of Cups celebrates happiness and good cheer, her stinger wasn't powerful enough. Her ego got the best of her and her stuff, had to give back his stuff to him. Her thinking screwed up if she thought she was getting my stuff, says the Divine Masculine. With Saturn on his side, the right side, his prize, the Holy Grail, and a studded framework. So there might be something specific to certain Divine Masculines that have studded work on them. A barrel of monkeys below him, with cups left everywhere, neatly on surfaces, multiple layers or multiple rounds or steps or levels to take. Okay, so this, I was getting multiple things coming up here. Could be kids' parties even, but at least now they're being neat about it. So instead of the cups being on the floor and spilled everywhere, now they're at least neatly stacked all over the counter or on different levels, on different counters or whatever. But it could reference to other things as well. Giving up the alcohol in lieu of the money, time, and energy, now raining upon him for the masculine, along with offers of help, or trying to get him, or people trying to take advantage of him again, but he's untouchable now. So this is his perspective. With love as his protection and expressing himself, he looks a little loopy. Okay, so he's been through a lot. Her lawyer could be the King of Swords, and the King of Cups lawyer could have been the Queen of Swords reversed. The Queen of Wands may have felt she had it in the bag with an attorney known to be a killer, not having counted on his lawyer, a vicious female and or female judge that may have been just like her. Okay, it was just 3144, which is chaos, fighting energy, and then the 44 of mastering that. One Queen of Wands upright and one Queen of Wands reversed. So there might have been like someone in court who just knew her numbers, so she couldn't manipulate that person. Could be two fire sign women, one the karmic and one his lawyer, who understood her inside out. Underlying energies, it could be the lawyer or the judge or whatever your situation. It certainly could be something else also. Underlying energies were the King of Cups, the Queen of Swords reversed, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Wands, expressing in heated debate with children, all for one and one for all, but what does that mean if all are taken down in a fight to the death? Where heart-to-heart conversations were just a strong-arming tactic. Okay, so this was coming up as the Queen of Wands with the kids, like using them, you know, honing, you know, pulling them into her team, right? So she has the home advantage, basically. So again, the King of Cups, Queen of Swords reversed, King of Swords, and Queen of Wands expressing. So these are definitely lawyers and the karmic and the masculine, or it could be another combination of people. If they're not going through a divorce, it could be a different court scenario, or it could just be a different scenario altogether where there's more people involved in the family with a debate. Okay, but they're all debating, expressing, and with children there, all for one. And I was getting specifically the three, which is the karmic and two kids, but it could be another three as well. Like the all for one and one for all, but what does that mean if all are taken down in a fight to the death? Where heart-to-heart conversations were just a strong-arming tactic, and it wasn't really meant sincerely. Okay, so the signs that are coming up here, it was just 33. The signs that were coming up in the body of the read, all of the signs came up, so I'm going to tell you which direction they were in so you can hone in on what it means to you. Leo was both upright and reversed, as well as Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio. Okay, so those both were vacillating back and forth, or they could be two. Like, so you could have two Leos, two Aries, two Capricorns, two Scorpios, or a variation of those signs. But they were both all up and down at different times. Or you could have two. The ones that were upright were Pisces, Taurus, and Virgo, and Libra. The ones that were reversed in the body of the read were Cancer, Gemini, Sagittarius, and Aquarius is questionable, so that could be an up and down one as well. So recently, as we get into the read, and this was 11:55, the Queen of Wands is moving to a more peaceful world after possibly lying in court or heated exchange with the King of Cups. The foundation for the union is messy for the Queen of Swords, as destiny is slow. Now here, there's a different meaning. These are the main reads in the cards of the King and Queen of Swords, and I was getting this as the masculine and feminine, not as lawyers. That was the underlying energy, so they're separate, okay? And however you receive it, it may also apply in that situation. So, but this is my take on it. It is messy for the Queen of Wands as Destiny, slow in union at home, performing with the weight of the, with weight on the right. Let me, hold on one second, because I can't understand what I was trying to write here. Yeah, I guess it is weight. Okay. So, Queen of Swords at Destiny, slow. Destiny slowed down. It could be, doesn't have to be bad luck or anything. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune, when it's reversed, just means things slow down, or that things go into slow motion so you can see them more clearly or carefully. But that's the energy here at home for the Queen of Swords, or the Divine Feminine, performing with weight on the right side, leaving the feminine side free to fly. A green loop and green shoes to balance red tights and orange valance, or cave woman skirt like Wilma, working to pick up Fred's low energy. Okay, so it's like this balancing act where the feminine is trying to help the masculine's low energy to pick it back up. Okay, so she's using that green physical healing cord, but also using the colors. So balancing the greens with the oranges and reds, which is sacral and root and heart. But Wilma and Fred were definitely coming up here. Wake up call out to the masculines and kids to help the Queen of Cups transmute negative past relationships. Okay, so the feminine's coming up as both the Queen of Swords and Queen of Cups energy together. Okay, came up in the same spot. The Queen of Cups was a clarifier to the Queen of Swords. Now antiquated ways of relating to kids. The Queen of Swords. Oh, wait. The wake-up calls out to masculines and kids to help the Queen of Cups transmute negative past relationships, and now antiquated ways of relating to kids. The Queen of Swords is shielded in gold and blue. Christ consciousness, sparkling gold energy, with Archangel Michael's solid blue and platinum. And if you notice blue around gold, it tends to be platinum as it transitions from blue to gold. So that is very interesting. Her left hand with a solid grip on the truth. This is the feminine and her emotions, and is well grounded at home. So that's good news for the feminine. Centrally, the destiny at the heart of the union, inner child happiness exposed in the King of Cups. Okay, so his inner child is becoming happy now. Message of love without fighting from or to a wounded warrior. The King of Swords is free to leap in faith to the left, looking the bull straight in the eyes, green and blue, no worries. Red is way above the bull, and he can't see it. Okay, so the masculine's being brave, and he's going to get right past this bull, whoever it is, and don't worry because the red is not there, so he's not going to be the target. He won't see him coming. The challenge for the union is the shadow side, that the worst is over in family ending and breakup that had no affection or no love loss, excluding high vibes after expressing guilt or shame, back to balancing, moving forward at work. And whistleblowing was coming up. I wasn't gonna write whistleblowing, which sometimes I do when I see a certain something, but then the train literally blew its whistle. So that was pretty cool. That was at 12:10 to 12:11, going into 12:12. So dumping attachments. So the masculine rebalancing and moving forward at work, could be the feminine as well. Dumping attachments to the Emperor reversed. The bull, out of control debates. So it may be someone in the masculine's life, a father, boss, uncle, grandfather, whoever it was, father-in-law, who was always into having heated debates for no reason but out of control. Now in the crowning of the union is the King of Swords. A break in connection, starting over in love, no longer bored, feeling sadness, loss, and regret of his shadow side drama and waiting for his ship to come in, or his role as the King of Cups, or it could be a separate King of Cups as well. So he's realizing his arrogance in that, okay? So his impatience and jealousy or insincerity and immature emotions. Success and attention as leader with followers. With karmic's notoriety, he fell on his face due to lack of faith in himself, okay? So using other people to get ahead. So he lost faith in himself and his 5D world. Him sticking his butt where it didn't belong, offering love to 2 women, 1 workhorse, 1 star. The workhorse comes up as a socializer who drinks and gossips, creating burdens and family drama. The one shining her light, looking back at her twin, waiting for him to be disconnected from baby mama, or karmic. Soon, a bold move. And right as I wrote that, it was 12:21, and a FedEx truck went whizzing by, going north. You know, so you always notice that stuff because the trucks are heavy. So when they go really fast, you feel it. So at 12:21, this FedEx flew north in a bold move, fessing up to getting over suffering and stress, possibly up nights in split, lies, duplicity, and unhappiness on his own. That was just 4111, which is the Ace of Cups and Justice. Or that someone tried to trick him into pregnancy. Union, so that could be with the karmic, trying to keep him in a marriage, or if he had another person on the side that he had been having an affair with, or had already left his karmic but wasn't divorced with and was having another relationship, she might have gotten pregnant or tried to trick him into thinking that she was pregnant. And in some situations, there'll be a miscarriage. Some situations, the kid won't be theirs. And then other situations, they'll be stuck with having a child, okay? So the union is the Ace of Crystals, diamond in the rough, with rainbow above, of peach and buttercup yellow and white to offset the harsh edges of stone in the earth. There's opportunity to invite or learn, earn, or travel. Defenselessness to strong energies coming in, but not fighting it, just going with the flow, doing your own thing. Staying ever present at 0101 point. At justice, which is just, truth, and balance. So this goes for both the Divine Masculine and the Divine Feminine. The cards that came up for you guys is playfulness, engagement, which is raising your connection to a higher level, and healing family issues, which primarily has to do with parents, but also can have to do with, from the picture, with the masculine with his own children. So the masculine with their parents, the feminine with her parents, or the masculine with his children. I wasn't specifically getting the feminine with her children, but the masculine, because he may need to make amends with his kids. Around the union, or as it is seen, is looking to the stars while grounding and integrating, awakening to abundance, the wise man and the empress. All right, so here I'm getting the hanging man, who's the wise man, because he always sees from a different point of view than everybody else. And the empress, in her abundance, in the aftermath of destruction and or major changes and drama. Clear any blocks to sudden change and or epiphanies for both of you. The King of Pentacles expressing feelings, taking the lead in choosing the path for the union, may cause dissension amongst the ranks at work and or leaving at work. Okay, so for the feminine and masculine, don't assume anything and clear any blocks that have to do, like so for the feminines, if you have a block about allowing your masculine to take the lead at times, let go of that. All right, don't have any expectations of who's going to take the lead. All right, this is a partnership. Just like if you were going to have a business partnership and sign a contract with them, okay? You're each independents working together in harmony. So this is what the clearing had to do with. And if people choose to leave in a certain situation, in a situation that you two are now agreeing on, then that's their issue and now their wound to heal. So it's okay to trigger other people, because that's the ripple effect. You're helping them heal when you trigger them, as long as you're in your truth. If you're being mean for no reason and you're not being truthful, that's not correct. The ripple effect comes from being in your truth, which sometimes means being harsh because it hurts other people's feelings. It's okay though. You have to know, it's like tough love. You know, it's like the mother who allows her alcoholic son to stay home drinking all the time. Is that okay? That's not love. She's not helping him get better. Her kicking him out of the house, and it was just 444. So it's important, okay? And I've experienced these situations. That's why these examples come up for me. I know people who've gone through that, and I've known their whole situations. You need to either help them to get back on their feet or kick them out and make them do it themselves if they don't want your help, okay? It doesn't mean you're being mean. It means you're loving them. You're being in your truth. I don't deserve to live with this. Okay, they gotta go. Okay, so forgiveness. It's all about forgiveness, but even more so here was rebirth. So that's the death and the portal card of going through the rebirthing process, surrendering, having patience. And patience and surrender are the biggest deal for this journey. They're not easy. Trust, because surrender is all about trust and faith and patience. New beginnings and leadership. So again, rebirth, surrender, patience, new beginnings, and leadership. For both the Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine, you will have these qualities of leadership. Higher self, hermit, sheds light as it comes on shedding on third-party situations, gossip, and overindulgences. And this also can have to do with antisocial behavior. As the Queen of Pentacles, upright, holds the energy for new life and family legacy, letting go of the past burdens for both, and using pure affection with family, standing up for yourself and grounding while working to align and cracking your codes, and trying not to be too wasteful of time, money, energy. Putting it out there, allowing some touch, not assuming the worst from an invite, and playing big, not small. The King of Swords connects to the higher self, to his higher self, and this connects to the Divine Feminine, abundance and open heart, detoxing any deceptions of the King of Wands of the past, right? The man of passion who you saw as like, you know, that guy who was his persona, it wasn't him. Needing the courage to let go, the masculine, and fix things with magic. Okay? So again, that last line, the King of Swords connects to his higher self, right? Him and his truth, and thus connects to the Divine Feminine and her abundance with open heart as the Empress, detoxing deception of King of Wands of the past, needing courage to let go and fix things with magic. That was the final card, is the Magician. Okay? So, like I said, some of them have two positions or two different people in that sign. Aries started down and comes up at the end. Leo starts up and turns down at the end. Capricorn starts up at the beginning and also down at the end. So Aries comes out in the positive energy. Passionate exchange over a third party. Gossip between the King of Wands and the Queen of Wands and the King of Swords over overindulgences or anti-socialism or antisocial behavior at first. And then there's a joyous expression of feelings of the Queen of Swords about new life grounding the stars. The Queen of Wands' destiny with shadow side causing chaos and drama, while the King of Swords connects to his higher self and abundance. Okay, and that's what brings them together. Okay, so really beautiful messages. And like I said before, combinations of blue and orange came up here, so sacral energy and throat energy from your higher heart, to bring your creativity and your sexual or sensuality into what you do and how you speak to people, and using your higher heart always to do that. The other combinations that came up were, I believe, red and greens were coming up. Let's see, green and yellow came up. Yeah, there's a lot. It's like we went up to the crown and then came back down to the root, and we're focusing on root again. There's a lot of red and orange energies coming up to clear, and it's like rebuilding. So now that we've cleared everything, what are the new habits and new patterns we're going to add to our chakras? Okay, what is the strong foundation you're going to supply your union with? This is what we're coming into now. Okay, that's why we're back in red again. It's about building that strong foundation so that it's built on something solid and it doesn't falter. Okay, so I'm going to pull some oracle cards. Okay, the Ascension deck. Take a deep breath, guys. today is January 24th, 2019. So, for everyone watching, in the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Okay. Alright, so 1, 2, 3 cards came up. And the bottom of the deck is Saint Germain, which is 34. 34 is the 8 of Wands, which was big time in the read today. It was all about that. 8 of Wands can be just about needing to express your feelings, but also has passion and heat in it. So it could be a heated exchange, it could be an argument, or it could be, something passionate. So Saint Germain is here. That's the underlying energy. And Saint Germain, is the transmuter. The affirmation is, I believe in my ability to create miracles. And we ended the read on the magician. So know that that is you, not just the masters you connect with, but you are the master. The 3 cards that came up, the gold ray of Christ. We're coming up to 5115. 51 is the King of Swords, which is in the read, as well as the devil energy, the shadow, which also came up in the read. So that was very significant. All right, the King of Swords, shadow side. The King of Swords and his shadow side. He needs to come more into love, and affection, which will be the next step. So the gold ray of Christ is number 5. Then we have Mary Magdalene. So the King of Swords and Mary Magdalene, who is 35, is the wounded warrior. And then we have the moon, which is 11, which is justice. So we have justice here for the King of Swords and Mary Magdalene, or Christ. Perfect. The gold ray of Christ is actually 5, not 51. 51 came up when I pulled it up, but it's referring to Christ as the King of Swords. It's confirming that for you. So we have the Christ and Mary Magdalene and the moon. How perfect. These cards were kind of falling out, but they weren't really. These guys jumped out of the deck. And then these kind of want to be seen as well. So I'm just going to show real quick. Neptune, number 19. And then Archangel Retreats, number 50. So that's the Sun and the 10 of Cups, which is complete emotional fulfillment. And 12, which is the Hangman, or wisdom, and the culmination of the cycle. So how beautiful is that? The Sun, the 10 of Cups, and the Wise Man, or the culmination of the cycle, the 12, the 3. All right, so the gold ray of Christ says, number 5. 5 is the Hierophant. Okay. Blessings pour onto you when you choose this card of unconditional love. The gold ray of Christ is held within the cosmic heart at the 9th dimension. The angels ask you to invoke the love, wisdom, healing, and protection of this beautiful energy. Ask it to flow through you and surround you with its golden light, which is what we talked about today. When you carry this high frequency force in your aura, you can relax and know you're totally safe. Remember to send the gold ray of Christ to others, and the affirmation is, I am the gold ray of Christ. So that's a very good way, instead of thinking of it as protection, if you just say, armor us all with your love, which is that Christ golden light. You're armoring us all. If we all feel that same thing, how quickly will we come into that energy? And even if you're not doing it, it's still the most powerful protection is to just have love around you. Okay? If you're in a very high vibration, the lower vibrations can't touch you. Okay? So, Mary Magdalene says, and the affirmation is, I am the gold ray of Christ. Mary Magdalene, 35. She was the high initiate in the order of Essenes and the spiritual partner of Jesus. She's now master of the 6th ray, raising dogma into spirituality. Mary Magdalene's Ascension retreat is in Marseille with an S. There is a Marseille with a C. She radiates a glowing buttercup yellow light to all who attune to her. Her light was hidden from us for centuries as she was misjudged about her role in Jesus' life. If you have felt wronged or misunderstood, Mary Magdalene offers you the courage to maintain your integrity. This card is an invitation to attune to Mary Magdalene to receive her blessing. And the affirmation is, I maintain my truth and see the spirituality in all things. Okay? For the good and the bad, right? The dark and the light. Okay. So the moon So some of you are going to be going through these justice situations to just do that, like Mary Magdalene, help bring dogma into spirituality, to help people in court to see the spirituality of the situation above who says what's right and wrong. Okay, so 11 is the moon. 11 is justice. The moon is the causal chakra of the universe, radiates divine feminine energies. Call it in to cleanse your aura and recognize and energize you. Remember, the influence of the celestial body is always there, whether you can see it or not. When you're offered this card, you're called on to practice your feminine qualities of love, wisdom, compassion, intuition, inclusiveness, discernment, and oneness. Your guidance is to go within and seek answers from your huge font of wisdom. The moon will bring you clarity so that you can flow with the current of ascension. And the affirmation is, I listen to my divine feminine wisdom. Okay. And I wanted to bring in, since we're talking about the justice system and right and wrong and all that kind of stuff, you have to realize, and I have been through the justice system with my back injury through work, so I know what I'm talking about. It's always about, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Because if you fight the justice system, you may or may not win, but it's also going to suck the life out of you. Okay? They're not going to be fair. They are not going to care about your feelings. And if you have to go, especially with disability things from work, you're going to have to go report to a doctor who's going to lie about your condition that works for the insurance company. Okay? And do you really want this negative energy to be consistently in your life for the rest of your life? Because you want a free ride. Okay? And it's not, I'm not defending the system. It's not a free ride. Yes, you did get hurt and you have the right to this, but they're going to treat you like a criminal. So, just letting you know. Now, not all cases are like that. I mean, some people, I guess, are happy with what they receive, but if you're dealing with it on a long-term basis, it doesn't usually stay that way. Okay. So, I'm going to get into the journey of love. So like I said again, do you really want to stay in negative energies, or do you want to be happy? That's why it's about not fighting the fight. You know, yes, you stand up for yourself. And if it becomes chaotic or a fight or a war, why would you want to stay in that energy? You're just perpetuating that energy. It's about staying present within yourself and walking away. I'd rather be happy than feed into this energy, because by raising your own vibration, you're doing more good for the whole than by feeding into that negative energy. All right, so take a deep breath. Clear and align, clear and align. Clear and align. Okay. So for January 24, 2019, for everyone watching, in the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Okay. Oh, we got 3. And then we have ethereal touch at the bottom. 27. 27. 27 is the Ace of Wands, right? Passion. It's also about sensuality, the ethereal touch. The cards that came out are 69, which is contemplation. 69 is the Ace of Pentacles. That it could be an offer of money, but it's, whichever which way it is, it's about helping to start a new life, to find perfect contentment. Second card is Coming Together, which is 66. And the third card that came out is 63, the Light Field. A little bit more harsh energies there. Alright, so we have 63, 66, 69, 369. Okay, that's about the 40, 50, 60 energies. And we also got in the codings today the multiples of 3s and 9s, so it's very significant. And another card wasn't really coming up out as much, but it kind of wanted to be seen. So 42 is the Blood Dance. So I'm just going to show that to you as the 4th card, because sometimes the 4th, number 4, has to come into consideration. I think that was the purpose of this card also, is to you bring in the 4th later. You know, you master the 3, and then you become the union. All right. So let's see, they came out 69, 66, and 63, so that's why I'm going to read them. especially since we have 369, it's like 963. All right. 69 is contemplation. Within you there's a question arising. When you get the question right, the answer will be self-evident. But you have to plunge your consciousness deep within to find the right question, to articulate it clearly and understand what it is you're really asking. Just move these down. Okay. The question within you is actually a divine gift of awakening. It is your future awakened self waiting to be found and calling to you too. Let the question arise through dreams, dance, meditation, sleep, yoga, nature, or a time in nature, swimming in the ocean, bathing in a aromatherapy bath, or receiving a hot stone massage. The question holds within it the next unfolding petal of the lotus of your being. That's 6060, 10101. All right, so 010101 is the 0 point, but it's also, you know, major magician energy. Okay. Also is the Wheel of Fortune. Making magic in your destiny, staying at 0 point. This oracle brings you an invitation to enter into the mystery of your life and your being, and to allow the biggest question you can summon to emerge from your heart and be expressed through love. The question may emerge as clear and shining, or soft and yielding, a question with no words, only feeling. Whatever truth emerges, let that be your contemplation. In response to that question, the next step forward will unfold before you, revealed in perfect clarity and perfect timing. You can't do anything wrong. This oracle brings you a message from your own divine nature. Come sit with me and breathe. I want to ask you something. I want you to ask me something. Together there's conversation that we are to have now, and there will be beautiful accord between us that overflows into all of your relationships, bringing more understanding and peace. The poem reads, patterns break through the night, in beams of light awakening, memories of walking on sand, moments, waves for place, waiting for another passerby. Reflections, time to look outward in, to find those hidden spaces, residing alone, waiting for a twin soul, waiting for myself. Okay. I just got itchy nose. Someone might be talking. 66, let's see. Coming together. You and another soul are coming into each other's worlds. It's a karmic destiny that is unfolding, an expression of a divine plan set in motion many lifetimes ago. That destiny may have a romantic purpose, it may have a sacredness that is sexual, it may have a sacredness that is creative, tender, about learning self-esteem or courage. It may bring you a gift of enduring friendship and loyalty, or be an expression of a passing flash of divine force that shakes your foundations and helps move you out of a situation which would have consumed your light with tediousness and playing small. The coming together is happening, however. No, it is of love. This oracle brings guidance. You're going to be moved by love. Whether it's long-term or fast and furious, it is love and it has meaning. Let it be what it is in Spirit's connecting, and do not try to force it to become what you think it must be. It has worth, as do you. Enjoy the experience and know it serves your growth. And the poem reads, two energy patterns came together and shared frequency in a field of possibilities, and there was resonance. Okay. And then we go to 63. And I want to look into those pictures too a little bit. So 63 is the light field. You are very open on the other side, or to the other side. The veil that separates the worlds is very fine for you, for there is much love in your heart, and love exists beyond all barriers, including those of time, distance, and even death. If you wish to communicate with those who have passed on, do so through your heart. If you want to communicate energetically with your beloved, even though you're separated in physical location, then you can do so now. If your psychic abilities are opening and you need confirmation or reassurance, accept this message of guidance as being such. Those who have passed can be received fully and peacefully into the light, and your love helps guide them home. I was just talking about that with another twin yesterday. The messages that you sense in your own heart that comes from unconditional love, that uplift and reassure, can be trusted. The light is so close to you, beloved, it surrounds you as glow from within. This oracle brings you guidance that you're connecting with a field of awareness that is real, and that you're protected by light as you do so. It is confirming that there is nothing for you to fear, and that those who have passed on or will pass on in the future will always be safely held in love. It is also confirmation that there are very real bonds that connect you to your loved ones, past, present, and future, that are beyond the confines of time and space. And the poem reads, when I'm in love, I am not afraid to be any part of me. I let it all be free. For the world to know, and when I'm ready to love, I will create a reflection of who I am, and we will shed our fears, complete our past, and trust love to be our guide. Okay. So it's all coming together. So just trust and have faith that it's so. And I just want to take a look at these pictures and feel into it for a minute, see if anything comes up. It's like a moment of peace for the Divine Feminine before she knows she's going into the storm with the masculine. So it becomes very red, and Spirit's connecting with me. You know, full of passion as the two energies come together as one. It's reminding me of like going through a roller press, you know, where it pulls the fabric through, like if they were melding fabrics together or something like that, right? The fabric of life, the fabric of the twins coming together so they become one. It's also like the picture of that card reminds me of someone's butt with coming out from the spine, from the upper, the sacral spine, like coming out in red passion from your root and your sacral chakras. But it's going through, you know, a moment of silence, the calm before the storm, before the passionate storm hits, and then you go into the field of light. And that just looks like someone sitting on a stone, but it also looked for a moment like someone laying out in the light, like you lay out in the sun. Have your passion and then come back to the light to you know, the refueling station, and know that that's okay. Okay. All right, so I'm going to let you go. Make sure you guys are taking good care of yourself. Keep your vibration high. Know that all is well. Just be happy. Okay? Everything is going as it should. Rise and be loved.